it done, will ya? Woo. When I blow up now, everybody's so unusual with it. Shit. But said times in his rhymes, cause his memories. We running through New York.
Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over something that I keep getting asked on a daily basis from a lot of you guys, and I'm going to explain to you what you should and shouldn't be doing on your BMW engine. So let's go over it. Now the video I'm doing is not just going to apply for the M52 engine, it's going to apply for all engines, but I'm getting a lot of questions from a lot of you guys asking me the same old question all the time. So you go and replace your MAF sensor or your map sensor or your solenoids or any part on your car, and then you come back to me saying your car is not running correct and it's still having the same issue. Well, a lot of that is purely because you've been using Chinese crap parts with, like, on your MAF sensor and on your disvalves and on your Vanos solenoids and all other parts on the engine. Now I tell you guys all the time, no matter what engine it is, do not use Chinese crap on this car. They don't like it and they will not tolerate it. A lot of you guys are still doing the same old thing daily and messaging me about that you've either fitted your solenoids and you've still got the same code. Well, if you're gonna go and fit Chinese ones, you're gonna expect the codes to still remain. And what a lot of you guys don't know is these cars will not tolerate running on low tolerance parts. And as I've said many times about this engine and about all the newer N engines, they will not be able to withstand the tolerances that BMW require for these engines, hence why you're getting all your codes. And then you're replacing it and then you're saying BMW is unreliable because you can't run it on Chinese crap. The fact is, if you have to buy this car, then you're trying to run it cheap, and this applies for a lot of the N62 guys. When their solenoids go south for the Valvetronic motors and they're trying to use Chinese ones, then realizing they can't get away with it, and then calling the BMW unreliable. It's not unreliable, it was just unreliable in the wrong hands, as I've said many times. And then people should never even bought a BMW to think that you're going to run it cheap. There's a lot of misconception everywhere, all over the internet, that leads you to believe you can run these cars cheap. When they say cheap, they're meaning obviously trade price or trade discount price is what a lot of people get the parts for here in the UK. They do not mean running them cheap by putting Chinese parts all over the car. I know a lot of people end up on the oil filter housing going to use Chinese gaskets as well for this, and then they end up leaking again. Then they say BMW's unreliable because it leaks again. You ain't going to get away with using Chinese parts, so please do not even think of using Chinese parts. Stop replacing this part of Chinese gasket and buy the original one from BMW. It is not expensive, it's like £30 for the 2 gaskets, and then you'll be done and you won't have no more leaks. Stop replacing your solenoids with Chinese solenoids. That's another thing. You guys ask me all the time and I'm sick of having to tell you, stop putting in your Chinese junk. It's not going to work. Stop cleaning them. It's not going to work either. You guys always message me saying you've cleaned your solenoids and you've still got the same problem. Well, you're going to expect that. Cleaning them does not work. I need to explain this to you guys a lot of the time because I feel like a lot of you do not listen. Cleaning them is not the answer. It was never going to be the answer. It was never the answer. Anyone who's tried to show you that on YouTube is because they're cheap and tacky and they want to believe that it's going to work because they don't want to spend the money because they can't afford to run these cars. A lot of you guys fall for that crap. We'll go and watch that video and make them the money so then they can go and buy the actual genuine solenoids. Since I've come along, a lot of people have stopped doing that, but you're still getting your average people who still insist on cleaning the BMW Vanos solenoids. Don't believe that crap. It's all bullshit. The next one about cleaning this MAF sensor. Do not clean these MAF sensors. If they go faulty, replace it for a new one. Replace it for a genuine one and be done with. Do not think you're cleaning it, trying to replace it with a cheap, crappy one. You guys should learn your lessons from E46, E39. These cars will not tolerate Chinese MAF sensors or the wrong MAF sensor for the wrong engine. Also, you could be using one from a 2.5 litre engine instead of a 3 litre engine. It will not run the same. That's another part that a lot of you replace and then message me saying you've replaced it but it's not running correctly. If you've got the wrong one, change it out. Chinese part is the water pump that sits down there, the electric water pump. You will all go and buy a Chinese water pump and expect it to last. That's just never going to be the case and never going to happen. Do not buy a Chinese water pump. Do not believe the crap you read. If that's all you can get, well, get rid of the car and give it to someone who's going to buy a genuine one. Do not think of trying to use Chinese water pumps and Chinese thermostats. That is not the way you look after these engines. I am trying to guide you guys the correct way, and I know a lot of you guys will go and follow other people, and that's why your engines, you end up coming back to me saying it wasn't running right because you followed this person, and that person has led you the complete wrong way, and that's why your M52 engine is absolutely running like crap. That's why a lot of you, the M53, M55, M54s are all running like crap, because you're believing these people who are showing you to run Chinese parts in the car. I do not believe in that. I have never stood for that and never will. No matter what you do, do not use Chinese parts on any of your BMWs, be it M52, N54, M57, N57, any of them. I do not believe in it. They end up damaging the engine more than they actually help the engine. Stay away from Chinese parts. So I hope now that's going to have cleared up a lot of things that I keep getting a lot of questions about. I get questions literally daily on my Instagram and on my channel as well regarding a lot of people who have replaced these parts and they're still having the same issues daily. I'm getting actually tired of seeing these comments. I've got it all up on my videos explaining to people how to repair their cars. If you're going to go ahead and use Chinese parts, you're going to expect the same issue. Go and use the genuine parts and trust me, your problems will be gone. A lot of the codes you have are mostly for Vanos solenoids. You're coming to me for your Vanos codes. A lot of the P01s and a lot of the 28898 are all to do with your Vanos solenoids. Go and change them up for genuine ones. Do not sit there telling me you've cleaned them. Do not sit there telling me you've changed them, because you probably changed them for cheap Chinese crap that is not going to work and not is going to function as intended on these engines. So please refrain from messaging me if you've done that, because I tell everyone the same. If you've gone and cleaned them solenoids and you message me, I will not help you. It's a simple fact. I do not believe in that crap, and that does not work. There is no getting around this engine and there's no being cheap. If you have to be cheap, give it to an owner that will and can look after it, because the fact is, if you are having to clean it and you're trying to be cheap with this car was not made for you. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching this. BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.